Hi there, this is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com, back in the studio today because yesterday I made a video outside and got bitten about 27 times by mosquitoes. I'm in agony today, so I've learnt my lesson. Safer to stay inside. So today I want to talk about, I'm getting quite a few emails from people asking if I believe in the concept of dry drunk syndrome. And the short answer is yes, and that's what I'm hoping to explain in this video. Before we go any further, just remind you, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be awesome. And come to boot camp. I'd love to meet you. The next one is Toronto. That's coming up in about just under 3 weeks' time. Then we have Sydney, Australia, then London, England, and then, well, it could be anywhere. My feeling in this moment is it's gonna be Texas. But you can change my opinion. Please comment below. So, first of all, what is dry drunk syndrome? There is a difference between being dry and being sober. There is a difference between using willpower to force yourself to stay away from the thing you want the most, the kind of AA approach to this, and living a happy, sober life where you love the fact that alcohol is not in your life. There's a huge difference between the two. And actually, I think the problem is that the vast majority of ways of dealing with problem drinking ends up leaving a lot of people with dry drunk syndrome. As in, they may not have alcohol in their system anymore, but they still want it. They still have the underlying reason to drink. And I think that's why my approach to this works so well for so many people is that it starts by disassembling your belief structure around the drug. Everyone drinks for a reason. Nobody is just drinking for the sake of it. Everyone is using this drug to achieve something. And whether that's confidence or stress reduction or dealing with anxiety or panic attacks or helping them get to sleep, they all believe at a subconscious level that alcohol gives them something. Now, of course, it's nonsense. Alcohol doesn't give you anything. There is not a single valid use for alcohol. Well, actually, that's not true. There are two valid uses for alcohol. One is as a disinfectant, because it's very good at killing life. You put alcohol in a little Petri dish and put some liver cells in there. It will implode them. It will pull all the moisture out of the cell, and so that the cell actually collapses in on itself. It's like thermonuclear war to cellular level life. And if you think that's not happening in your body because you mixed it with a bit of cranberry juice, I've got bad news for you. The second use for alcohol is as a fuel, because it burns. It has energy stored within it. And you can tell that if you light it, it burns. And the energy is converted into heat energy. But as far as all our kind of made up reasons to drink, I need it to help me cope with life, that is just pure grade nonsense. However, what is the default go-to solution for alcohol problems? AA, yeah? You tell someone you've got a problem with alcohol and you can't control it, what do they say? They say, go to Alcoholics Anonymous. It's free. And you go to AA, and they tell you that you're an alcoholic, and you always will be, and you've got to follow the 12 steps, and you've got to stay away from the thing you want the most, because that's evil, that's poison, and you can't control it because you're broken, you're weak-willed, and you're terrible. And you can never have it again. And for every set period of time you go, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, they give you a little coin. They give you a little medal and say, well done, you successfully stayed 3 months away from the thing you want the most. Now, the problem with this approach is while for some people it saves their life and it gets alcohol out of their system, it never really deals with the reason why they started drinking in the first place. For the vast majority of people that I meet, problem drinking is not the problem. It is the symptom of the problem. Problem drinking occurs generally because we're trying to get away from some other pain in our life, some other discomfort. So that could be loneliness, boredom, dissatisfaction with career, problematic relationships, depression, mood disorders, all these sort of things, all these things that make us miserable. You know, and we're hardwired at an unconscious level to move away from pain and towards pleasure. And we want to take the path of least resistance to achieve that. And so if we can take a tablet that makes our loneliness go away, we're going to take it. There isn't one, so we'll go for the next best thing. We can drink alcohol, and it turns us into a stupid zombie. We're no longer aware of our loneliness. It appears to have helped the situation. Of course, it's just an illusion. So if you go to rehab, or if you take medication to stop drinking, or if you go to AA and you stop drinking, but you don't deal with that loneliness in your life, or that boredom, or that dissatisfaction with your career, if you don't deal with that, then what you're going to end up with is what's called dry drunk syndrome. You're going to be dry and free of alcohol, but miserable. And that's not really a solution, is it? That your life is now not better as a result of stopping drinking. It should be, because you've removed the poison for your life, but hey, you get into this place where you're dry, but you're miserable, and you're thinking, well, this isn't fair. I've dealt with the problem. I did the hard work. Why aren't I being rewarded? And that's one of the reasons why I'm not an advocate of AA, because spending the rest of your life with a label of recovering alcoholic and forcing yourself to stay away from the thing that used to help you deal with your problems, that is not a cure. That is not a solution. That is hell on earth. Now, this is quite a huge subject, really, because a lot of friends and family and loved ones of drinkers, when they hear that they're coming to one of my quit drinking boot camps, or they're going to get started on the online course, they get excited, they get optimistic, they start filling with hope, because they assume that if their loved one, their husband or their wife, takes the alcohol out of the situation, then miraculously everything's going to get better. They're going to come back from boot camp this happy, happy-go-lucky, no problem sort of guy or girl. And a lot of the times people are disappointed, because what they get back is a dry husband or wife who's still miserable, who still wants to maintain a problematic relationship, who still wants to continue other negative behaviors in their life. And a lot of times people quit drinking and they just take up another bad habit. So they get addicted to sex. They need sex all the time just to give them a release from this torment they feel inside. Or they start using the internet excessively. They use online porn. They use another drug. They start smoking, or they start overeating. They get addicted to sugar. And the reason this happens is because they have not dealt with the underlying reason for their addiction in the first place. So what I'm planning to do in the next 6 months is actually extend the Quit Drinking Bootcamp to 2 days. At the moment, it's just 1 day where I take you through the complete Stop Drinking course. And I give you the tools to deal with cravings, and I explain how the process is going to work, and I strip away the illusion behind alcohol, and I show you how the trick is being performed, and I show you how you make this easy. But what I'm planning to do on the second day is to dive a bit deeper into the reasons why you started drinking in the first place. Because you have to, if you just take alcohol out of your life and leave a void behind, you're going to have a problem, because alcohol occupied a great deal of your time. And so I encourage you to fill that time with something more exciting than what you previously did. So that might mean that you have to go back and find hobbies and pastimes that you used to really enjoy that you let slip because alcohol wouldn't let you do them. It might mean you have to start a new hobby, or learn something new, take up a new language, or go to night school and do a course. But you must replace the alcohol with something positive. And also, when you get that clarity of stopping drinking and you can really evaluate your life, you're going to have to do something a little bit painful. You're going to have to address some underlying sources of your misery. If you feel lonely, how are you going to fix that? How are you going to change that situation? If you are currently in a job that you don't like, how are you going to change that? Now, the good news is that with 100% of your brain capacity and without that alcoholic fog that you've been living with, you actually have the power to change many, many things in your life that you couldn't previously with anesthetic rushing around your system. But you are going to have to take an evaluation of your life. You know, it's a mistake to think you can just stop drinking and everything will get better and nothing will change. Stopping drinking is kind of the start of the process. And after that comes this evaluation of your life where you say, well, I'm not happy with this. This needs to change. These people need to leave my life because they're not serving me. They're not really my friends. They're just enabling me. My career is not where I want it to be, so I'm going to have to make some changes there. My confidence is not at the level I need it to be, so I need to invest in myself. I need to do some courses. I need to go to seminars and read the good books. So there'll be various areas of your life that need your focus and attention. And once you get the poison out of your bloodstream, you can start to deal with that. But you must deal with it. It's not an option. You can't bury your head in the sand because all that's going to happen is you're going to stay miserable and eventually at some point you're going to break. When life shovels on enough hardship, you're going to go back to the solution you had previously, which was to drink an anesthetic to make it go away. That is not a solution. All right. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any more questions, please email me, craig@craigbeck.com. Why not join me for a free quit drinking webinar today at the website, stopdrinkingexpert.com. Come to boot camp. I want to meet you. You can get details of dates, times, and prices at the website right now. Thanks for watching.